Guys, I hate to shut off the music. It was entertaining. Every time I do that, I hear a new verse, and it's fun to hear about barbecuing for 9 months out of the year in the city of Mason. Anyway, everyone, welcome to the Mason City Council study session for March the 15th of the year 2021. I can see from our screen that all of our council are present. The first item on our agenda for this meeting is to review and discuss items on the agenda for the March 15 council meeting. I know we went through this last week, but council, are there any questions that you have, any additional information you'd like to see regarding anything that's on our agenda for tonight? Okay. Yes, Mr. Freeman.
Mayor, do we have any items off the consent agenda? I know that...
Yes. Right now, the only item off the consent agenda is item 7A, which is the public hearing on the zoning case that we discussed quite a bit last Thursday.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, council, with no additional, I'm sorry, Vice Mayor Duff.
Thank you, Mayor. It's kind of a last minute thought, and I don't know if it's best to wait until the council meeting. I was looking at an email that we received a couple of hours ago, and it's a regarding item, was it a 7A, the waypoint?
Yes.
And my question is that old statements that were made some years ago, are they a legal commitment? I mean, I don't know, or maybe we're going to cover that. I just don't know of some of these things that were said years ago, stated years ago in planning and zoning regarding this case, if they have any bearing into today, whether what was covered as a statement in the minutes is necessarily an obligation or a responsibility. It could have been. So I just wanted to have some clarity on reading the email, what that means and what's going on.
Yeah, I see Ms. Pillsbury is raising her hand as well.
I wanted to echo that I had the same questions about the email that we received. If maybe, I don't know if Jim has seen it or Nana.
And I certainly would like, I want Jim to answer that question. Here's my only pause for all of you and for Jim, is we do have several folks that have asked to speak tonight on this. And so we are going to have a hearing, and the neighbors are going to be, participating in that hearing. I want them to hear the answer to this question. So, I mean, we can discuss it now, but I think anything that Jim might tell us on this point, we need to make sure it gets repeated, during the hearing, so that the neighborhood gets the benefit of hearing that information as well. So I don't know if it would be best to defer, having Mr. Smith give a response to that until I'm anxious to hear the answer just as much as you are, but I just don't want to. I want the neighborhood to have the benefit of hearing that as well.
We could do it twice, so if you'd like.
We could do it twice, for sure.
I think staff needs to get clarity on the email and what the statement is.
Okay, Jen, do you want to, so let's take the twice approach. So Jen, why don't you pose the question, and let's see, and Mr. Smith can rehearse his answer for the hearing later tonight.
So I just forwarded it to Mr. Smith, and I apologize for putting him kind of on the spot. I am fine to let him digest that and then discuss it in our council meeting. I feel like just forwarding to him right now might be premature in that dialogue with him.
So as I understand the issue, Jim, I think it's, can a prior owner and a prior developer bind future owners and developers if they in fact made some sort of a commitment to the neighborhood that they wouldn't, they would only build to a certain height?
So Mayor and Council, let me, in the context, and I've only had a few minutes to look at the minutes that were just emailed right before this meeting, and I think you did sort of summarize sort of the context of the minutes, that the prior owner made a representation as to what the building height was intended to be and would be at that time. I'll say this, as far as the city goes, that there's not an agreement between the city and the neighborhood as far as what the height will be. That height was approved at that time under that zoning case, and that was what was approved. There's a process in which that can be changed in subsequent amendments, and that's what's occurring tonight. They're going through a process to change the approved height to a different height, and if council decides to do that as part of a rezoning, that's a legislative determination by this council, and council could make that determination. I only was able to sort of quickly read the email before coming to this council meeting, and I think to be fair to the neighborhood, they were also trying to point out that this was not necessarily, and I don't think they used the word agreement, that it's sort of relevant in sort of a historical context as far as being able to show what was originally intended in this scale that was originally intended. And then from that, they want to, I suspect, is going to talk about what should be appropriate in scale now. And that's the context of what, it provides a historical context of what is appropriate, not that it prevents council from adopting a legislative act tonight. It wouldn't do that. And so I think it really was more in sort of historical context of what's an appropriate scale.
Okay, well, I suspect we'll ask you to say something similar to, or to respond to that question again tonight when hopefully all the neighborhood is tuning in. Council, any other questions or additional information you'd like related to tonight's agenda? Okay, hearing none, the next item on our agenda for this meeting is item 2. That's meetings and conferences attended. Anything you'd like to share with us, Council? Mr. Luna. David, you're still muted.
Okay, sorry about that, Mayor. I just want to make an announcement that MAG will be discussing the upcoming Arizona Mega Region Council. We're going to be holding a webinar on Friday, March 26th at 1 p.m. We'll have the Council General from Hermosillo there from the United States, Jorge Yescas, Council General of Mexico, and Jim Colby, as well as George Vidal Ahumada, Secretary of Economy, State of Sonora. So we're encouraging people to attend the webinar. If they want information, they can contact my office. This is really dealing with trade and commerce between the state of Sonora as well as Arizona. So I encourage people to attend. It's part of MAG's offering through the Arizona, which is a program that I've been involved with since I've been on City Council. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, David, for representing us on that MAG board. You do a great job. Council, other comments under this agenda? Vice Mayor Duff.
Yes, also on MAG, I'm on the MAG, for those who are listening in, is the Maricopa Association of Governments. I serve on the Human Services Committee, and we had a meeting last Thursday. We reviewed data on homelessness and looking at the actions we can take, resources on affordable housing and how we can make a difference there. And the MAG has also created resource pages for COVID-19, all the questions you can have, and also connects to vaccinefinder.org to find a vaccine near you. That's found under the programs menu. And there will be a page released any day on eviction assistance. If you're facing eviction, all the things that are resources that are available to you. Also, later that afternoon on Thursday, I toured Alice Cooper Solid Rock Teen Center on North Country Club. They're in the middle of remodeling, renovating the old Mesa Public Schools building. And I was delighted to find out that it's about 90% complete on the interior. Bright colors and creative designs to house, from the music lessons and recording studios and dance and art and hangout areas. It's really going to be cool. Right now, it's just some empty rooms. It still needs to be equipped and get ready. And the projected opening will be in May. And that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
That's exciting. There's going to be a lot of kids that really benefit from that program. Thank you. Council, other anything else you'd like to share with us? All right, the next item on our agenda then is the acknowledgement of board and committee minutes. Is there a motion? Thank you, Mr. Freeman, seconded by Mr. Luna. Well, thank you. We'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Freeman, how do you vote?
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Spilsbury.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Heredia.
Aye.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Duff.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Luna.
Aye.
Thank you. Councilmember Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you. I vote aye as well. That motion passes unanimously. Next item on our agenda is the schedule of future meetings. Mr. Brady.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll be having a study session this Thursday at 7:30, so we'll see you then.
Thank you. We'll now adjourn and reconvene at 5:45 for our regular council meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Mr. Luna, seconded by Mr. Thompson. We'll do a voice vote. All in favor of adjourning, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned and we'll reconvene or start our next meeting at 5:45.